All right, now we're ready for OnShape Bootcamp part number 2. So if you feel like you are ready to go, you're welcome to kind of push ahead. If you want some more step-by-step work, then just kind of follow along as we go. So I'm going to go up to Create again, Document. Notice I'm in my OnShape practice parts. And I'm going to name this OnShape Bootcamp number 2. Create public document. All right, here we go. Now, one big difference, if you notice between part 1 and part 2, is part 2 is actually in centimeters, which is a big problem when we get to our calculations. So to change that, we're going to go up to the 3 lines up by your title and by the home button, and we're going to change our workspace units from inches to centimeters so that all of our calculations are in metric like we want them to be. Okay, let's go. Let's do this one a little bit differently. I'm actually going to start from the front plane. I'm going to push it back that other direction just to give you a different view of how to construct some of these things. So I'm going to click on that plane. I'm going to go Sketch, and I'm just going to do the bottom piece for right now. So I might switch to a center point rectangle because, again, I really like to be at the origin whenever I'm doing this. And I'll create my rectangle. I'm going to dimension it. We have 2 boxes at 2 centimeters each, so this is 4 centimeters. And then we have, oh boy, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8 at 2 centimeters each, so that's going to be 16 centimeters wide. Cool, looks good. Let's go to my ISO view and let's extrude this. I want to extrude this guy. Now, one sneaky thing I can do is instead of having it push to the left or push to the right, I can have it push both ways. And I really like this when I can stay on the center point. So I'm going to actually click symmetric. So it's going to actually push it both ways in the way that I want it to go. And we have a total width of, what is that, 4 squares at 2 centimeters each. So we have 8 centimeters total. Let's make sure that looks okay. That looks good. And we're going to hit the check mark and we are set. All right, let's make the kind of that second level of our piece. So I'm going to click on the face. I'm going to hit sketch. I'm going to go to top just so I can see it. And let's go corner rectangle. I'm going to lock it into this corner. Just draw it. I don't want to latch it on there quite yet. So I'll just stick it there so it doesn't latch on. And we have 2 boxes at 2 centimeters each. Just 4 centimeters. This is, oh boy, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 centimeters, so 5 boxes. Okay, that looks pretty good. And once again, go back to my isometric view. I'm going to extrude. It looks like we have 6 centimeters up. And we're going to say, okay, cool. Let's start chopping into this stuff. So let's make a sketch, not on the front plane, but on this face right there. Oh, I don't know if I grabbed it. There we go. And I'm going to go to front so I can see a little bit easier. And just like we did before, let's do our little triangle. I'm going to go here and here. Trying not to lock onto any part so I can dimension it. It looks like it goes, oh boy, this is confusing, 4 centimeters tall. I'm going to move this down a little bit. And we have 2 centimeters wide, or excuse me, 4 centimeters, 2 boxes. Okay, that looks pretty good. Once again, go to isometric. We're going to extrude. Now we're going to extrude remove. And I'm going to go from blind to through all. So if I mess up, I can always go back and change some stuff. And then our last one is we're going to take this chunk out of the block in the corner. So I'm going to click on my face that I want to start drawing on. I'm going to hit sketch. I'm going to hit top. And let's do our triangle one more time. I'm just going to draw it out. Don't really care how big it is, as long as I'm not locking on stuff. And I'm going to go dimension. Looks like we are going, oh boy, 1, 2, 3 boxes, so 6 centimeters. Let me plant that over here. Nice, that looks good. And then we're going 1, 2, 3, another 6 centimeters in that direction. Sweet. Isometric, extrude, remove. Let's switch it to through so it goes all the way through no matter what. Cool. All right, we got our shape. Now let's mess with our properties. So we know that it is cast iron. Oh boy, that's a heavy, heavy thing. So cast iron is like what Dutch ovens are made of. Sometimes really heavy irons that you weld with. Sometimes use that too. So let's assign the material cast iron. There we go. Cast iron is some heavy, heavy stuff. And it's kind of like that brownish black color. So let's change our appearance to, it doesn't have to be exact, but let's get kind of close-ish. That feels kind of cast irony. Okay, and so then remember, in order to turn this stuff in, let's hide some of the stuff just so it looks a little bit more pretty. What did I do? Oh, I kept the top one on there. I'm going to shift this over just so it's closer to my name. And so we have our mass properties. Tell it to measure part number 1. So there's our mass and volume and surface area and stuff like that. So you can use your snipping tool to cut that out. And then you can use your snipping tool. Probably don't want it to be yellow. So I'm going to unselect it. Snipping tool to grab this part plus your name, and you're good to go.